From legends facing regret, to fighters struggling with money, to outspoken stars clashing with fans, the stories reveal the human side of mixed martial arts. In the past few days alone, we heard Joe Rogan say that Khabib Nurmagomedov's perfect record might not be as perfect as it seems. We saw one UFC fighter reveal he has just $13 left in his bank account. We watched Ronda Rousey spark a storm of backlash by brushing off a potential return. And that's just the beginning. Let's dive into everything that's been going on and why it matters for fighters and fans alike. Jon Jones has been a headline machine for more than a decade. He burst onto the UFC scene as a young phenom, beating legends like Mauricio Shogun, Rua Quinton Rampage Jackson, and Lyoto Machida while still in his early 20s. Many experts called him the most talented fighter the sport had ever seen, but alongside his greatness came problems. Jones was suspended multiple times for failed drug tests and out-of-the-cage incidents, including arrests and controversies that nearly ended his career. Yet every time, he returned to the octagon and showed why he's still regarded as one of the best. That's why his recent back and forth about retirement caught fans off guard. At first, it sounded like he was ready to walk away. Then, within days, he insisted he wasn't retired at all, saying he was training daily and staying in the drug testing pool. To casual fans, this might seem confusing, but to those who have followed Jones, it feels like another twist in his roller coaster career. What makes it even more dramatic is the report that Jones turned down $30 million to fight heavyweight contender Tom Aspinall. Aspinall is younger, hungry, and dangerous, but the payday would have been enormous. Ariel Helwani, a respected journalist, said Jones now seems to regret that decision. Turning down life-changing money is one thing, but doing it and then immediately showing signs of doubt makes people believe Jones is wrestling with regret. It adds to his image as a fighter who was both brilliant and self-destructive at the same time. Then there is Ronda Rousey, once the most famous fighter in the world. Before Rousey, women didn't even fight in the UFC. Dana White, the president of the company, once said it would never happen. But Rousey was so dominant, so marketable, and so charismatic that she changed the sport. She won her first 12 professional fights, most of them in under a minute, using her signature armbar. She became a Hollywood star, appearing in movies and on magazine covers. But when she lost to Holly Holm in 2015, everything changed. Holm knocked her out with a head kick that shocked the world. Rousey took a long break, came back against Amanda Nunes, and lost even worse. After that, she walked away from MMA altogether. Her recent comments about having better things to do when asked about fighting again angered many fans. To them, it sounded arrogant, like she was brushing off the sport that gave her fame and fortune. The backlash shows that while Rousey will always be a pioneer, her relationship with fans remains complicated. Some respect what she accomplished, while others can't forgive how she left after her losses. Her pasta joke might have been lighthearted, but to fans who hoped for a serious comeback, it felt insulting. Darren Till's story is a different kind of drama. Till was once considered one of the brightest prospects in the UFC. A slick striker from Liverpool, he rose quickly through the ranks, beating names like Donald Cerrone and earning a title shot against Tyron Woodley. But after losing that fight, his career spiraled. He lost multiple times, moved up in weight, and struggled to regain momentum. Outside the cage, though, Till kept his reputation as an entertainer. Known for his wild sense of humor and bold trash talk, he has kept fans watching even when his results in the octagon weren't great. That's why his potential boxing match with Andrew Tate has people buzzing. Tate is one of the most controversial figures online, banned from many platforms but still massively popular. A fight between Till and Tate would bring in huge attention, especially from audiences outside of traditional MMA. Till himself admitted it would be life-changing money. He said he'd agree to any conditions just to make the fight happen. For Till, who has had financial ups and downs, this is a chance to secure his future. Tate responded by calling for respect and professionalism, saying he doesn't like being insulted. Whether the fight happens or not, the buzz shows how much crossover appeal MMA fighters can have when they step into boxing. Bryan Battle's path highlights another side of the fight game. He won The Ultimate Fighter, the UFC's reality show that has launched many careers. He seemed like a promising prospect, but missing weight and inconsistent performances led to his release. Instead of giving up, Battle took a deal with the Professional Fighters League. The PFL offers fighters a chance to compete in a tournament format with big prize money for the winners. For someone like Battle, it's a second chance. On a podcast, he explained why he didn't go to bare-knuckle boxing. He said bare-knuckle destroys fighters' hands and makes it hard to stay active. He wants to fight often, build momentum, and keep his career alive. Being a free agent gives him the freedom to explore different promotions, but his choice of the PFL shows he's thinking long-term. He wants to stay relevant in MMA, not just cash out on risky fights. Training footage of Alex Pereira and Sean Strickland gave fans another treat. Pereira, a former kickboxing champion, became UFC champion by knocking out Israel Adesanya. His power is legendary, and watching him train with Strickland, another top middleweight, got fans excited. Pereira is preparing for a rematch with Magomed Ankalaev, a tough and technical fighter from Dagestan. Fans know Ankalaev is dangerous, but seeing Pereira's sharpness in training has many believing he's ready for another big win. These glimpses behind the curtain remind people how much effort goes into preparation. Fighters don't just show up on fight night, they grind for months, pushing themselves to the limit. Paddy Pimblett's confidence is another story making waves. Paddy is known as the Baddie, a loud, funny, and fearless fighter from Liverpool. His fan base is huge, especially in the UK. Recently, he compared his grappling to Khamzat Chimaev's. Chimaev is one of the most feared fighters in the UFC, known for taking people down and dominating them. Paddy said once he gets someone on the ground, they can't escape. He described smothering his opponents, using his weight and pressure to control them. For a young fighter, comparing himself to Chimaev is bold. Some fans love the confidence, while others think it's premature. Either way, Paddy knows how to keep people talking, which is part of why he's becoming such a star. Brian Ortega's story was perhaps the most emotional of all. Ortega is known for his toughness and slick submissions, but at UFC Shanghai, his weight cut nearly killed him. He explained in detail how he tried to shed the last pounds of water from his body, but ended up fainting and being unconscious for half an hour. He woke up in the emergency room but still went forward with the fight. He admitted it was reckless and dangerous, but said he did it for his family and his fans. Weight cutting has always been a controversial part of MMA. Fighters often dehydrate themselves to dangerous levels just to make weight. Ortega's story shows just how brutal it can be, and it's a reminder that behind the glamour of fight night, fighters put their bodies through torture just to step on the scale. Khabib Nurmagomedov's name still comes up constantly, even in retirement. Javier Mendez, his longtime coach, revealed that Khabib once thought about boxing Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather had already fought Conor McGregor in a mega event that sold millions of pay-per-views. A fight with Khabib would have been another blockbuster, but Khabib turned it down. Unlike others who chased money fights, Khabib stayed true to his path. He retired at 29-0 after promising his mother he wouldn't fight again following his father's death. The idea of him fighting Mayweather is fascinating, but his choice not to shows how disciplined he island. For fans, it's another what-if story that will never be answered. Robert Whittaker gave his thoughts on another rising star, Khamzat Chimaev. Whittaker, a former UFC champion himself, said he doesn't know how anyone beats Chimaev right now. He described Chimaev's wrestling as so high level that only someone with elite jiu-jitsu could possibly stop him. He mentioned Gilbert Burns as an example of that kind of skill. Whittaker also reminded people that anything can happen in a fight. One punch, one knee, one mistake can change everything. But his comments show the respect Chimaev has earned among top fighters. When a former champion says you look unstoppable, it means a lot. Cedric Dumas shocked people when he revealed his bank account. Despite fighting in the UFC, his balance showed just $13.96, with nothing in savings. He said legal issues and expenses had drained him. Fans reacted with mixed feelings. Some sympathized, saying it shows how tough the fight game is and how little fighters sometimes earn. Others pointed to his history of arrests, saying his own choices got him here. Either way, the post was raw and real. It showed that being in the UFC doesn't guarantee wealth. Many fighters struggle financially, and Dumas's post gave fans a glimpse into that harsh reality. Finally, Joe Rogan stirred debate with his comments about Khabib's record. Khabib is celebrated for retiring undefeated, but Rogan said his fight against Gleison Tibau in 2012 should have been a loss. He said Tibau won the fight, even though the judges gave Khabib the decision. It's a controversial opinion, but Rogan is known for being outspoken. His comments reopen an old debate. Is Khabib's record truly flawless? Or does that fight put an asterisk on his career? For fans who see Khabib as untouchable, Rogan's words were frustrating. For others, it was a reminder that even legends have close calls. All of these stories together show why MMA is so compelling. It's not just about knockouts and submissions, it's about human beings, their choices, their struggles, and their triumphs. Jon Jones battles regret and questions about his legacy. Ronda Rousey faces backlash from fans who once adored her. Darren Till chases a fight that could secure his financial future. Bryan Battle rebuilds his career in a new league. Alex Pereira sharpens his tools for another war. Paddy Pimblett shows the confidence of youth, daring to compare himself to monsters. Brian Ortega reveals the brutal reality of weight cuts. Khabib's choices remind fans of discipline and legacy. Robert Whittaker respects the rise of a new force. Cedric Dumas opens up about financial struggle. And Joe Rogan sparks debate about what it means to be undefeated. Together, these stories remind us that MMA is more than a sport. It's a mirror of life itself, full of highs, lows, risks, rewards, and constant uncertainty. That's why fans can't look away, and why every headline matters.